Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are doing a 2026 rebrand. It is actually January 6th when I'm filming this, but I'm a big believer of, not bombarding yourself with all your New Year's goals and resolutions right away. Like, we're just coming off the holidays, getting back into the groove of things, and we have a whole year to get done what we're doing. So I have honestly just been resting and preparing for my next semester of school, but finally I felt ready to kind of sit down, reflect on my 2025 year and work on my 2026 vision board and mood board. So in today's video, that is what you guys are gonna get. We're first gonna start with recapping and doing a audit on 2025. Honestly, I've talked about this on my podcast that I have. Shameless plug, go listen to our 2025 kind of recap episode. My podcast is always linked down in the description, but my big theme was that 2025 was a big year of growth. I had all these goals and ambitions, and they didn't necessarily come true, but I would say the starting point of my ambitions and dreams kind of got started in 2025, and I kind of laid down the foundation. Shout out Liz for that analogy. I kind of laid down the foundation of a bunch of buildings, aka my dreams, for 2026 and beyond, and now is the year that I start putting some action behind my wants, needs, and desires. So I obviously have kind of talked through this verbally, but I really want to sit down and journal about it very quickly though. Just 2025, my highs, my lows, and things I want to bring into 2026 and what I want to leave in 2025. So I have two journals, and I encourage you to follow along with me if you are also wanting to have a rebrand reset moment for 2026. I have these two journals from Amazon. This one is my everyday lifestyle kind of junk journal where I just talk about my feelings, what's going on in my life, and just put little random life things in here, like movie tickets, sunny angel things. And then this beauty is my manifestation journal, which is where I will put probably my New Year goals and things like that. I did put it in this journal last year, but I think it's more fitting to have it in this journal. So I'm gonna quickly journal kind of my 2025 audits in this notebook, and then I will come to you guys next when I want to work on my vision board and mood board. Hello, I am back. I have finished recapping my 2025 and just really sitting down and thinking about what I want for 2026. Now, as you guys saw, I had a section in my manifestation journal where I had my rebrand and my mood. So I'm gonna take a page from just what I've seen online and what would work best, but usually I am very open about my resolutions, but this year I'm deciding to keep it quiet, be a little mysterious in that aspect, because that is one thing I have realized, that I am such an open book to literally anyone, but I think sometimes things are best kept quiet, just so there's no other opinions, evil eye, all those type of things. So I am going to keep my actual kind of resolutions to myself, but I have no problem sharing kind of the mood, the energy I want from 2026. So I will share my list for you guys, and then we can move over to Canva to make both my vision board and my mood board. But obviously my vision board will be kept a secret for my eyes only, but my mood board everyone can see. So for my mood board, I want to just emphasize connecting with my inner child. I am a firm believer that you are truly your most self as you get older when you start kind of getting back into your childlike interests, personality, things of that nature, because as we get older, I feel like we kind of change, we kind of go away from the things that make us happy because of what society tells us to like and act like. But when we're a child, like, that's just our purest self in its purest form. And I have definitely felt myself like going back to like things that I've liked when I was younger, but like obviously more in a more mature way, I guess you can say. And I have truly never been happier. So I just want to continue that journey of connecting with my inner child. Next, discipline. This is something I have struggled with forever. So really this is the year I want to work on being disciplined. Next, my reading era. I've gone through like the worst like slump, I feel like, over the past like 2 years or so. But this is the year that we tackle that and we get out of the reading slump, which I am feeling very hopeful about being in my reading era in 2026. And a little challenge for myself is I don't want to read like any romances for either the whole year or at least for a little bit of the year, because I've just read so many romances. Like most of my books that were read over the past year is romance, and I will always be a romance lover to the heart. I'm a lover girl. I love rom-coms, all of that, but I think when you read the same genre back to back, it can definitely put you in a reading slump. So I think exploring other genres will help me with my reading era. And then last year I coined that year as being the year of growth, and I am claiming 2026 to be the year of being selfish, which means taking care of myself and putting myself first, not in a bad way, but in the way of doing things that make me feel better, whether that's getting ready every day, like putting on makeup and stuff, even though I would just be on my computer, you know, in class, or just doing skincare and just really putting myself first, doing things that are better for my health, stuff like that. I feel like I can definitely sometimes neglect that, but I really want to prioritize that, especially during the school semester. And then I want to become a health freak this year because I just want to like be the healthiest I can be and just set the good habits now that will carry on to when I'm 30, 40, 50 and I'm like 70 years old and I can like still, you know, move my body. And then I just want to be carefree, grounded, and relaxed. Again, I just can find myself being very overwhelmed and stressed, and I'm just like, girl, nothing is that serious. We are on a floating rock. I don't need to be this stressed over like school or like the minute things. Everything will work itself out, and I just need to constantly remind myself. And then I want to be more open to more relationships entering my life. I for the longest have been like, oh, like I'm so shy, like I have trouble making friends, blah blah blah. But I feel like junior year of my undergrad was really like a catalyst for me, realizing like, oh, like I really do kind of like socializing in a way, and like I wouldn't mind like having more friends. I mean, that's not saying like the friends that I have now aren't enough. Like they are my besties for life. My ride or dies literally will be the bridesmaids at my wedding. But I think it's also important to like branch out from like your friends that you've had since childhood, just because, you know, different phases of life, different people will enter. And yeah, my last bit of college and even my first semester realized like, oh, like there's so much more people to connect with and vibe with, and I feel like I've been so like closed off because I'm like, I don't need any more friends. But just like putting myself out there in little ways in the past couple of years, I've been like, wow, like I really do like kind of like feel a little joy when I'm socializing with other people, especially when they're like, you get it. And that makes me very hopeful for the future and just makes me excited for like all the people that I have yet to meet that will probably become like pillars in my life, and people that will become like my future like best friends. So that's pretty much the mood of 2026 for me. I am feeling very hopeful about this year. Obviously I know you can't have the highs without the lows, so that kind of scares me a bit, but I feel equipped to possibly handle that a bit more this year than I have in the past. But now we're gonna move over to my computer on Canvas and make a little mood board. I feel like it's always good to have a visualization of everything, and I will probably screen record me working on it. So let's get to work on putting my words into a vision. Hello, I am back. I finished making my mood board and I'm ready to give you guys a little tour of it. I haven't made my vision board yet. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it after this video because it's not like you guys would be seeing it anyways. So I'll just give you guys a quick little tour of my mood board. And so let's switch angles real quick. So this is what she looks like. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put my mood board slash vision boards yet because I always have them as like backgrounds on my screen. So I think this might be the background on like my iPad or something. And then my vision board will be the screen on my MacBook because I look at those screens every single day, so I feel like those are the best places to put it. But here is a tour of my vision board. So first I have this quote: the most powerful muse of all is our inner child. Next we have a group of friends because, you know, open to having more connections. Then I have a aesthetic picture of a girl reading because like that's about to be me. Then I just have some workout pictures to do some Pilates and just working out at home. I actually just got one of those like foldable Pilates boards from TikTok shop, so definitely in future vlogs I'll let y'all know if that's tea or not. And then I have a girl taking pictures because this is just to represent just continue taking pictures of everything, documenting my life. And then I have a picture of a girl meditating, another picture of books, some healthy foods just so I can be more mindful of what I'm eating, another picture of friends, and then of course take pictures of everything, and then a picture of a journal because I definitely want to be more consistent with that, another picture of friends at a dinner party, and then in my selfish era. And then I decided to point this out last, but the middle picture being discipline and consistency. I feel like that is the key to achieving some of my goals that are on my actual like vision board slash resolutions for the year. So I feel like having this front and center is absolutely key, and honestly it might make it on my actual vision board as well. So I feel like that is just such a important reminder. But yeah, that is all that is on my mood board for 2026. I'm feeling very excited for this year, and I just feel so like productive and very like zen, finally getting like all this that's been in my mind out on a visual format. So I'm super excited. For sure I will be documenting, you know, all of these things that I want to get done in my future vlogs. So like make sure you're subscribed, and I hope you guys have a great night, day, evening, whatever time you're watching this at. Let me know for sure like what are some of your New Year's resolutions, goals, your mood. But that's enough rambling. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Bye.